Alrighty. It's time to watch us some Battlefield. Alright, 5 days ago the Battlefield 6 trailer launched. And I'll be honest, I watched it. I don't remember anything about it because I tried so hard not to pay attention. But I remember like little clips from it. And I've heard people talk about it. But I tried to save the majority of it for this. So we're actually gonna, dive into it, watch the full thing, try to pick out some details, see what the game's gonna be about. See some, hopefully try to pick out some features that are gonna come back. Because I know there's a big debate over like the class system and like locked weapons and stuff like that, but and maybe we might even get to see some old maps that come back. I don't know if they show that in this, but we'll see. All right. Without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, this looks pretty recent. So like close to present. That's sick. That dam reminds me of there's a mission in I think Battlefield 4 where Hannah, I think it's Hannah and Irish go. It might be Battlefield 3, I can't remember. It's been so long since I've played them, but you infiltrate a bridge or infiltrate a dam and you blow it up. That also might be like a hint that what is it? Oh, not Dam of Van Peak. Land King Dam might be coming back. Because that was a big part of that map, was there's a massive dam in the back of the map that one wasn't destructible, but there was also a Battlefield 3 map. I think it was called Flood, that there was a destructible dam, but it didn't look like that. But that might be Land King. Okay, so we do have the multiplayer reveal trailer coming soon. So the fact that there is a multiplayer reveal leads me to believe that there is a actual campaign with this game. Also, another hint towards that is I know there's been a lot of backlash with the operators. A lot of people don't like the operators, but you'll get clips. Oh, where's it at? Clips like this where it actually like focuses in on a specific character, like that, or this, the dude with the sledgehammer, and then it zooms into his face. So there are still prevalent characters, but with the previous backlash of having operators, they might go away from the operator system in the multiplayer, and this might just be like a hint towards the um, characters of the campaign. I could be entirely wrong on that, but that's just like my thought on that. Um, Another nice thing is just the sheer amount of destruction. Um, I think this game, just based off this trailer, a lot of that looked like actual like this. It kind of looks like a lot of these like particle effects remind me of like the Battlefield 4 destruction, because this isn't gameplay footage, but this is engine footage. So it was shot in the engine. So I'm assuming they are bringing back like the massive destruction events, and big like map changing things, along like Siege of Shanghai, where the entire tower would fall, or Flood, where you can flood the entire map, stuff like that. Big massive map changing things, which would be phenomenal, because that was a big issue people had with 2042. It had the natural disasters, but the natural disasters didn't really change the map. After like a tornado would go through, it would just be gone. There's no change. It would throw some teammates from here to there, but that's all it would do. The rest of the end of the match would just be the same as the beginning of the match. So I'm hoping they are bringing back the destruction like that. And also, oh, where's that one? I saw a little bird in here somewhere. Right here. They're bringing back the egg of death. The little bird. Also, this... correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the Brooklyn Bridge, right? Let me look this up. Is that the Brooklyn Bridge? No. Wait. No, it's not. Oh, what bridge is that? Yeah, because that looks like more steel, and the Brooklyn Bridge is stone. And it doesn't have these, like, turbines or whatever on top. I'll have to do, like, an image search and try to find what bridge that is. Because, like I said, just based off of the gear and the dude at the beginning, this dude kind of reminds me of, you don't get to see him very much, but he kind of reminds me of President Reagan a little bit. You can kind of hear it in his voice. But that and this just general setup kind of leans towards, makes me think it's going to be closer to present, whereas 2042, 20 years in the future, and then like World War II, or was it Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 were way in the past. This, I'm assuming, would be around like the Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 kind of area, to where I think those games were, I don't remember what years those took place in, but they were more present games. I'm assuming this might go the way of like Black Ops 2, to where it's present based, but it's maybe a little bit into the future. Maybe a tiny bit. So you get a lot of stuff that's here and now. and then you get a few things that are like based on stuff that we have. Maybe. Like I said, it's also reminiscent of like 90s like Desert Storm kind of stuff. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not able to pin it down, but hopefully we'll figure that out here soon. Here, watch this again. See if I missed anything. That and just because it's a cool trailer. Oh, sorry. What gun is that? It says made in Germany. I don't know what that logo is. That's not a SIG logo, I don't think. That's not an H&K. I don't know what gun this is. And it does kind of look, like I said, like Black Ops 2, to where it's based in reality, but it's a little more advanced than what we have. Wait. I wish I could just, like, scrub by frame. That looks like an SMT. It could just be ST, but this little bit here looks like an M. I don't know any manufacturer with those letters. That's an Apache. Was that the same bridge? Yeah, it was. No, it's not, because the Brooklyn Bridge, like I said, is solid. I'm gonna look this up. BF6 suspension bridge. It might be like a rendition of the Brooklyn Bridge. Because it looks very similar. That might be in Europe somewhere. Was that an Abrams? No, that's a German tank, it looked like. Alright, so there's the AK-12 is what that looked like. Or the, like, AN-971. One of those, like, AK variants. Those are Abrams. That's another thing that might come back. These big, I don't remember what they're called in real life, but the missile trucks. Those were sweet. I can only remember them on one map, and it was on Golmund Railway. It was at the very bottom of the map in like a warehouse. People would grab it from there, drive out to the world border, and then just sit in it all day long. And I like that they're bringing the ATVs back. The ATVs and this, there might be amphibious stuff going on. Because, oh, I can't remember the map name. On Battlefield 4, there was the, oh, what was it? It was with the China Rising DLC, I believe. There was a map that was almost all water. It was islands, but it was dominated by boats, and it was such a cool map because it was so different. Because most of the Battlefield experience is on things like Caspian Border with your vehicles, or like Operation Locker with just, attrition, just dudes against dudes. But maps like that where it was all water was just so like bizarre. It was very few and far between that you even ever got to use these vehicles. And there was an entire map where you had to. It was awesome. Yeah, there's 2 bridges here. And it showed the Statue of Liberty into these 2 bridges. That one back there is built the same. It's 2 big like steel pillars with just a cutout in between. That's the Brooklyn Bridge. Okay. Right? No. Like, this looks like a New York skyline. That, and like I said, it just showed the Statue of Liberty. So I'm assuming it's in New York. What weapon were they holding? Can I see? It looks just like an M46. No. What is that? That looks like a scar. Yeah, that is a scar. Because the scar has, one, it's this ugly, like, desert tan. I love it so much. But, the side of the receiver has this, like, curved section. It's not just, like, flat. It's, like, this curved, almost like the center of it is, well, it is. The center of it's just like a fucking tube. And then it also has this little cutout here. I believe it's for the bolt. I don't quote me on that. I don't know much about the firearms internally. But I'm pretty sure that's a scar. Which I've seen the leaked weapons list. That's probably the Scar 17. Because it just looks long as hell. Because they have the Scar 17, the 16, and then the Scar SC, which is the Scar subcompact. Which I don't know what round the Scar SC is chambered in. Because the 16 and the 17 are both 308. I think the 16 comes in a different round. I'd have to look into that. Actually, I'm going to look into that now. Scar 16 or calibers, because there might be multiple. Uh, okay, so the 16 is 5.56, but it's also compatible with 223 Remington. Okay. What about the 17? I believe is the 308, which is like a 7.62 by 51, which is 308. Some variants like the Scar 20S. Scar 20S is probably one of my favorite firearms of all time. Can either come in 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor, which would be so cool. All right. Scar SC. The Scar SC is okay. So you can either get it in 5.56 like the Scar 16, or you can get it in 300 Blackout, which is probably what Battlefield 6 is going to chamber it in. 300 Blackout. That way you just have the differentiation between the three. You have the SC, which runs 300 Blackout, then you have the 16 that runs 5.56, and then you have the 17 that runs 308. That would make sense. There was... I don't know the Pax Armada is. Witness the vicious path of destruction carved by Pax Armada, the world's leading private military company. Pax pursues the destruction of NATO and its allies, stopping at nothing to uphold their motto: our protection, your peace. Okay. Huh. That was another thing I was confused about, is I didn't know who the bad guy in this was going to be. Because in Battlefield 3, it was Russia. In Battlefield 4, it was predominantly China, but there was also Russia in there. And then I don't remember. I never played Battlefield 1, which is a crime, I know. Battlefield 5 was just World War II, so I mean, figure it out. 2042, the bad guy was there wasn't a specific, like, this is who you're fighting, just because of the nature of the no-pats. But the main bad guy that I've seen is a guy named Oz, or that goes by Oz, from South Africa. You see that in a short film called Exodus that Pac and Irish are in. I was really curious about that. I guess it's a paramilitary company called Pax. Can't wait to see what they're about.